this is Varsha Sharan and I'm a speech language pathologist at Lorem. Today we're going to discuss about why parents are an integral part of speech and language development for children. So usually children develop their speech and language over the years through play and also external stimuli that they get from the environment. It can be interaction with the environment or the parents. So when there is a delay in speech, we do refer them to an occupational behavioral therapist or a psychologist be it. But another integral member who can play a major part in their development is the parents. And why parents are an integral part is because parents are the only person who spends a long duration of time with the child. So a speech therapist be it, if she or he is working for a child who has delayed speech, they work for half an hour per day. That's the maximum. But parents are those who work with them for 24 hours a day. So the parents know the child in and out, not just their likes and dislikes when it comes to play, but also what they want, what they don't want, what they dislike, and what are the intentions and what they want to communicate. All of this, only one person knows it better, and that's the parents. So as a parent, what you can do for a child who has a delay in communication or speech is that first thing is to observe the sessions that a speech therapist is taking for your child. So you can raise concerns, voice out your opinions, ask them if there is any concern you see during the session. So you can see how your child interacts with the therapist, how the SLP interacts, and also anticipates a response from the child. So the second thing will be to repeat the same in the house. So when you continue the activities that the SLP has decided in the session, there is a continuity at home, plus there is generalization. So at a home environment is completely different as compared to that of what's happening in a clinic. So one is generalization, second is repetitions. The more you repeat an activity, the more you tell them a particular concept, the more the child learns. So repetition, generalization, all of it only happens if the parent carries the same activity back at home. So the third thing is that a parent who is leaving a child for therapy should not consider that the duty is over just when they are let for a speech therapist or an occupational therapist. It's much more than that. A parent has to take the responsibility to observe the child's reaction towards any particular activity suggested by the therapist and see how the child is responding to it at home. So what a parent has to do is come back to the therapist and tell them, what did the child respond? How was the child reacting? Was there any verbal response? Was there any gestures? What is the child doing? So what happens is the SLP, that is a speech language pathologist, can work better, frame better goals so that they know the child better. So supposing a child reacts to in a particular way when activity is done at home, then the SLP realizes, okay, so now we can change the course of treatment or we can choose another goal since the child is able to perform the same. Along with repetitions, parents must also focus on modeling. So if they want their child to do a particular activity or respond in a particular way, the first step is that the parent themselves start doing it. So if the parent wants the child say, I want, before every request of theirs, then the parent also must make sure that in every situation across, be it the father or the mother or the primary caregiver, should start saying, I want for every request they are making. So apart from all of these, there are few tips that parents must follow at home for their child to communicate better. The first one is to speak short and simply, that is, use simple words when they are speaking and make every one of their conversations shorter. The second one is to go down to the level of the child and speak to them, that is, eye-to-eye contact must be maintained when they are speaking. The third thing is to make sure that there are a lot of repetitions and descriptions rather than questioning the child. So we cannot bombard the child with a lot of questions. Why? What is this? Rather, we end up commenting or describing what the child is doing. So if the child is looking at a particular object, we say what the object is instead of asking them what is it. We label it first or describe it for them. Using more of comments help the child better in understanding what exactly the parent means in a particular situation. So the next thing you can do is acknowledge all of your child's responses. Even if they are saying something which is non-meaningful, you must still acknowledge what this child is saying. Make sure the child knows that you're looking at them. You're waiting for them to complete what the child has to say. The next thing is to involving them in a play. So when you play with them, it builds a lot of joint attention. The child learns a lot of things the parent is saying when it's involved in play. So the next thing that a parent can do is always concentrate when the child is speaking and also encourage them. Whenever child says a particular utterance, encourage the particular utterance, comment on it, and never discourage the child when they are making an attempt. So these are few things that the parents can follow at home to facilitate the child's communication. And I repeat that a SLP, that is a speech language pathologist, and also a parent must work in synchrony to have a successful speech therapeutic outcome. So only when both of them work hand in hand, we have a better outcome that we see in children. I repeat, only a successful therapy is when both the parent and a speech therapist work together for the betterment of the child. I hope this has been useful to you, and there will be similar videos coming up. So if there are any queries or concerns, please do drop down in our comment section. Thank you.